Hi, welcome back to our walkthrough of the Portsmouth Plaque program. Today I'm going to be showing you how to access and interpret some of the resources that you're going to need for your plaque application. And today I'm going to be talking to you about historic maps. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is go to our plaques website. Once you are on our website, you can access our resource links by scrolling to the bottom of the page where they are compiled for your easy use. Today, I'm going to be looking at the Sanborn Fire Maps, which are archived by the Library of Congress. You can find them using this link here that reads Fire Insurance Maps. When you click it, you'll be taken to the Library of Congress website where you will see a few different options for maps. Each of these maps corresponds to a different year. If you know when your house was built, you should choose a map that was published after the build date. Exploring the different maps can also be a great way to deduce when your house was built, or, as sometimes the case with Portsmouth, moved to its present location. Since I am researching the John Paul Jones house and know the house was built in 1758, I'm going to use the map from 1887 and learn more about what it looked like then. When you get to the Sandborn Maps, you'll notice that these maps are split up into sheets by zones of the city. You might have to click through a few maps to figure out which zone of the city your street is on. I'm looking for Middle Street. Yes, this map has Middle Street on it. Your house number can be helpful in finding your property, but so can your cross streets or surrounding buildings. For example, I can see State Street and the non-regular intersection it had with Middle Street right here. But if I hadn't noticed that, I might have been able to use other landmarks, like the Academy building, which now houses our museum galleries, to orient myself. Now that we've found the John Paul Jones house, you'll notice some symbols on the house. DWG means dwelling. It's a shorthand people used. The house is colored in yellow on the map. No, that's not because it was painted yellow, although it currently is, but because yellow on the map legend means the structure was built out of wood. You'll also notice in the corners of each section of the building, there are these small numbers. See, here is a 3, there is a 2. That lets you know how many stories a building was at the time the map was made. So, what this map confirms is that the John Paul Jones house was present in Portsmouth in 1887, it was made of wood, and had portions that were 2 or 3 stories tall. Looking around at some of the nearby buildings, the neighboring property, what is now the Rockingham, is marked in pink, noting that it was made of brick. Further down the street, the old Federal building is marked in blue, showing that it was made of stone, granite, in fact. The Sanborn maps are a great way to learn more details about your house and if it was standing in a certain year. You can even compare your house between different editions of these maps to see if and when any changes were made to it over the years. Going back to the plaque page on our website, the second type of map I'd like to talk about are city maps. These can be a great additional resource to the Sanborn maps. There are 3 different city maps listed under our resources section. One made in 1813, one in 1850, and the third in 1876. Much like with the Sanborn maps, the John Paul Jones house was built before the earliest map that we have, and I know that it will appear on all of these maps. If you think you have a build date, these are another tool to confirm if your house was built before the map you are looking at was made. I'll be looking at the earliest city map from 1813. This map also happens to be cataloged at the Library of Congress. Unlike the Sanborn maps, this map is displayed in its entirety. Get ready to zoom in and scroll around. This time, let's go to the map key first. On this map, the key, or explanation as they call it, is located at the bottom. This key tells us that different shadings are used to show what a structure is built out of. Remember, for the Sanborn maps, they used colors. Wood-built houses are marked by a cross-hatching. Brick houses are darker in color. There is even a distinction between homes and stores, where wooden stores are this simple brick shape. If they are made out of wood, it's the same shape, but a lighter shade. If they are brick stores, they are darker. So with these details in mind, I'm going to look for the John Paul Jones house, a residential building built out of wood. Remember, when looking for your street that on old maps the names have sometimes changed, it is extremely rare that there is no street near your property that you don't recognize. I've been scrolling around a bit while talking, and Austin Street jumped out to me as the street I recognize. So, using Austin Street, I'm going to work my way towards Middle Street, which, look at that, at this point in time Middle Street was called Middle Road, a very slight example of a name change. I'll then follow Middle up to what is today State Street, but in 1813 was called Broad Street. And knowing that intersection, I can again find the corner property where the John Paul Jones house sits. I can zoom into that plot of land and see that in 1813 the house is in fact standing, as we anticipated, and I can see the building's footprint. At this time, it was a larger rectangular structure with a small add-on off to the right. The cross-hatching shows once again that it was built out of wood. What's different about the city maps is they will tell you who owned your plot of land. This might be useful for selecting which past resident you want to feature on your plaque. The final type of map linked on our Maps section is MapGeo. This is particular to Portsmouth. This source might be the best if you live in a more modern house. Once you click the link, you'll be taken to a city website where you are asked to accept a disclaimer. Just click through. You can zoom in on this map and see all the structures in Portsmouth that are standing today. You might experience some lag issues when exploring this website, and that's okay. If you are having issues with MapGeo for your contemporary home, you can also use Google Maps. The good news is that if you have a more modern house, you likely have easier access to some of our other types of proof, and you may not even need to access these maps. That was an overview of the 3 kinds of maps that we have linked on our plaque website that you can use to help you in your research. Next week, we're going to be talking about deeds, so I hope you'll join me for that. And as always, if you have a question or want more information, please don't hesitate to reach out via email or drop a comment below. Thank you.